And we are streaming to the internet, HA. And now I'm going to go to YouTube and see if YouTube is getting it. YouTube is going green. YouTube going
nice.
Green. Yes. So they should be getting it any minute. Let me check on Facebook and see if YouTube going
nice.
Green. There it is. Yes. So they should be getting it any minute. Let me check on Facebook and see if YouTube going
nice.
Green. There it is. Yes. They see us on Facebook. So they should be getting it any minute. Let me check on Facebook and see if YouTube going Green.
Nice.
There it is. Yes. They see us on Facebook. So they should be getting it in YouTube going
nice.
So they should be getting So they should be getting YouTube going
nice.
YouTube going Yes. So they should be getting Dude, I had this problem before. I don't know what the fuck is wrong.
Nice. It's live. Nice.
Oh, I don't know what that reverb is. Maybe something with Facebook.
Nice.
Maybe something with Facebook. Oh,
nice. Oh, now we're back online?
Maybe something with Facebook.
Nice.
I'm about to kill Facebook. Maybe something with
Facebook. Oh, now we're back online?
Yeah, we're back online.
Oh, now we're back online?
Maybe something with Facebook. I'm about to kill Facebook. Maybe something with Facebook. Testing 1, 2, 3. I turned off Periscope. YouTube's got a check mark.
It's the Russians.
Yeah. All right. I got to at least make this right for YouTube. I don't know why it's doing that, man. It looks okay. So now let me check on Facebook and just see if it sounds okay to these guys. It's good.
It works. I hear it works.
Okay, so what I did was I just eliminated. I eliminated Periscope. It's a Periscope problem. Okay, guys. So at least now I know what it is. Hey, guys, how you doing?
Periscope.
Hey, can we get a test with HA? Make sure you can hear HA, I think.
Tim Black.
What up, my brother? HA Goodman in the house.
What's up, Tim? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have entered the Twilight Zone. YouTube is good. Another version of number 9. Damn Russians.
Damn Russians.
And see you both. All right, guys. You know what time it is. It is Monday. And Mondays are no sellouts. And if there's no sellouts, that means it's Tim Black and my man, H.A. Goodman.
Tim Black, what's up?
What's up, man? How's it going, brother?
I heard that you were going to get either a German Shepherd, a Poodle, or a Chihuahua. Which one is it?
Now, you know what? I'm going to get a rescue doggy, brother. A rescue doggy. I don't know. Like, I had my eye, like, I was looking at the Staffordshire Terrier, which is in the pit bull family, but luckily that dog was taken home by somebody else. But now this weekend, well, 2 weeks from now, they're gonna be bringing in some more dogs from the Harvey hurricane in Houston, or they're gonna have some dogs from Florida, so from the Irma. So these are special rescue dogs that we're gonna get, and we're gonna get 2 of them, at least 1, maybe 2. Because I need a real dog. Like I know little dogs are real dogs, HA, but I need a bigger dog than what the wifey wants with the kids. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that, I mean, whatever works for you, you know. I mean, I love German Shepherds. You know, I love bigger dogs. The smaller dogs I'm not that into, but, you know, I don't own a dog now. I had a German Shepherd growing up, but Yeah, I mean, that's a great thing, especially a rescue dog.
Yeah. German Shepherds, man. I just found out last night German Shepherds are one of the smartest dogs there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're really smart and
that's from bite.
Yeah.
That's why they use them to chase crackheads. and chase law-abiding and chase law-abiding citizens too. Damn.
True,
dogs.
true.
But, hey, it is what it is.
What do you think is? Oh, were you on? Yeah, I know you were on Nico's.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday, I had the pleasure of being on Nico's radio show.
Oh, you were on there too? I didn't know that, bro.
I was the last one.
Trying to play cleanup, coming in as a cleanup hitter, huh? That's what it is.
I was the last one, and that's great that he did that.
Yeah, it is great, man. A totally selfless act by our friend Nico House in the house. Give it up for Nico House, guys. Go subscribe to Nico House, man, if you haven't already. Hey, look, man.
Sam, have you read your latest copy of Hillary Clinton's book?
Yeah. Dude, I read their excerpts, and it was so riveting and candid and provocative. It's so hard. People are so hard on Hillary. I mean, we tell her that she's so mechanical and that she doesn't open up. And then she opens up, and we just give her shit for it. We're the problem, not Hillary. We're all the problem. We need to get our stuff together.
I'm going to actually buy the book and then just do segments with me reading it.
That's a good one.
And then I'm just going to be like, it was Bernie's fault. And I just don't know why, Bernie. And then whatever.
The damn Bernie. Yeah, the parts I've been reading or that I've seen online, I'm sure you've seen circulating. Dude, man, we're talking about the most out of touch, disconnected, blame-shifting parasite known to man is the way I peg it, man.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
What do you think is the because she says she's not running again.
Yeah, give it up for that. She's not running again.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, we're good. Just moving
All right.
some stuff up. Yeah. I'm just trying to get our no sellout banner floating. But you said she said she's not running again. So why is she? What's the point of the book? Did she ever say why she put the book out? I mean, other than money.
I think it's just to screw people.
Okay.
It's just basically to screw people and make money.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Pretty much.
Just for the record, just to be able to say like, okay, this is really what happened, and then all the rest of it is bullshit. Hey, man, I wonder if people who actually buy this book know that she didn't write this book.
Exactly. Exactly. I can't imagine any of Bill O'Reilly's books he's written, all 30 of killing, whatever. But Tim, most importantly, tell us about your conference with Jimmy Dore and Lee Camp, and what was that like? What was the love like for that?
Dude, that's what's up, man. Like, first of all, I met Shama Sawant, and she's amazing. She's a socialist, independent, and she just has a great message. She won her council seat in Seattle as an independent and as a socialist, which is great because that means people are dropping the labels and listen to what's coming out of your mouth and what you're standing for. And she did like some monumental things. Dude, she said, okay, her salary is $120,000 a year as a council member. She said, I'm only going to take the median of what an average Seattle person makes, and the rest we're going to put it into a fund to fund progressive type of causes.
That's good. Wow.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So like she put her money and literally put her money where her mouth is. You feel me?
That's awesome. That's great. That's great. I mean, I don't see most people would not do that. Yeah. Most people would raise $20 million for a YouTube channel.
That's my brother, man. Where's my boom? I don't have a boom anymore. There we go. There we go. There goes the boom. Here goes the boom. That was a good one. I didn't see that coming. You caught me off guard with that one, man. You had that locked and loaded, or you just?
I always have it. I always have it locked and loaded. What was your favorite part, Tim, of the conference? I know that, like, you're a unifying force. If I was there, they'd probably like throw tomatoes at me or something.
No, AJ.
Thank you. But no, I mean, like, what were maybe 3 highlights for you?
Well, one of the highlights was, of course, my number one highlight was meeting Dr. Cornel West. Right, so that was where, just having that opportunity, because I met him before, but not with an introduction. So Nick Bronan actually knows Dr. Cornel West pretty well, and I was able to be introduced to him through someone, so that way when I shook his hand and we talked, it was actually, I had a little credibility. I was like letting some of that Nick Bronan credibility rub off on me before I talked to the man.
You already have. I mean, I'm sure that Dr. West knew who you were even before this conference.
I don't know, man. Like, sometimes I'm controversial too, so you never know. So at least now he can consider coming on the show, and he'll know, like, when I approach him again to come on the show, because I didn't ask him Saturday. When I do ask him, he'll know, hey, that's Tim Black is affiliated with these people.
Well, I mean, Tim Black has had Nina Turner, Ben Jealous, Bo Kana. I mean,
yeah, they're pretty good.
You have, well, I mean, with Ben Jealous and Nina Turner, you have, so I mean, anybody would be happy to be on your show. I would be an amazing show. Cornel West and Tim Black.
Man, that brother. Man, my closest thing to it has been Ajamu Baraka, who is so amazing in his own right.
He's amazing also. Ajamu Baraka is when is he going to be on your show?
Dude, you know what? That's on me. I need to reach back out to him,
Please.
Yeah.
I want to watch that show.
Ajamu don't pull punches, man. He's independent all the way. He'll go anywhere and talk about anything, and he's going to keep it real. So that was great meeting Cornel West. Oh, the comedy night with Jimmy Dore and Lee Camp, Ron Placone, and Steph Zamora, the miserable liberal. I always call it a miserable liberal, but Steph is so funny. We had a great time. You know how Jimmy does his shows where
he's awesome.
He's got the clip going like this, and he's like telling it, and they got the panel. So we did that whole thing, and that was damn funny. And
his wife is great too. I mean, they're both great.
Yeah, Steph is hilarious, man.
The miserable liberal, I think, is the most amazing, because it really, we are all miserable liberals. like what's going on now? Yeah.
so, Dad, and what else was great, man? Just like all of meeting some of my Patreons in person was pretty damn amazing, man. Just the people, right? Like the regular people who watch my shows, who know who I am. I had a lady come up with her 5-year-old and asked me to take a picture with her 5-year-old. Like, that's love, because if people trust you with their kids, you're doing something right, bruh.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Tim, you're a really wonderful guy. I mean, you can go up to people on the street and talk to them. My shaved head, put like a mic on someone and be like, hey, want to talk about something controversial? They'd be like, no, man, no. But with you, I mean, you're a great guy.
You know what it is? The secret is, when you first talk to him, you don't bring up politics. You gotta slide into that, like, ease your ass into the politics. Like, I start off with like basic stuff like, what's good to eat around here? Nice. Anything, and as long as they get to talking, and then while we're talking, I can say, what did you think about Trump? What do you think about that bill? What do you think about the travel ban? Like, then they might open up, because politics is such a third rail, man. People are worried about their jobs. They're worried about their family seeing it. So, with some people, I ease into it, man, unless they walk up to me. Because some people are eager to talk because they want to get it off their chest. But, man, I appreciate you, man, for all the props.
Of course, man. I mean, that's fantastic. I think that those conferences need Tim Black, because I don't want those conferences to get overrun by other people. And I don't want the message, because already on Twitter you see, like, for example, let me make something clear. Somebody on the chat room asked a question / made a reference. When I think you've used the term SJW. I have 2 SJW on Twitter, social justice warrior. What I mean, I'm not talking about people who are trying to make the world better. What I mean is Twitter bully and the SJW Twitter bully, like that said, like, oh my God, you're a Nazi. You said something horrible. That's what I mean. But I think that, I think that what you did and what generally everybody there, especially like Dr. Cornel West and you and Jimmy Dore and Lee Camp, I think what you guys are doing are great. And Kasama Swant, I think it's fantastic. I think that people don't realize that I do enjoy, or I do value the progressive ideals. It's just that I don't see Trump as the enemy of progressive ideals. I see the Democrats as the enemy of progressive ideals.
Yeah, they're the ones who keep smashing us. Like, the Republicans aren't doing anything to the progressives. Like, they basically ignore us. Of course, they call us names like Snowflake. I guess that's for us. I don't even know if that's for us. Anyway, yeah, the Republicans are going to be Republicans, and that's their ideology is different. But it's the Democrats who are supposed to have a similar ideology to us. Like conservatives are lower taxes, deregulation, and the war machine. That's Republicans for the most part. You know what I mean? Or foreign policy, whatever. And the Democrats are supposed to be anti-war. Income equality, not income inequality, and but they're not like living up to that. So it's a lot of lip service. And every time, like everything, I learned this weekend. It's pretty much every movement that we admire that the Democrats look like they carried out, they were actually forced to do so by a third party. Like there was been an insurgency that demanded that they do stuff or lose their seats or lose control or be overtaken. So that happened with like the labor movement. Democrats weren't behind that until they had to be. Look at Hillary. She didn't even support gay marriage till like a couple years ago.
2013. Yeah, I think Tim. I don't want to be negative.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, H.A. You want to be negative.
I don't want to be negative, but I don't think that Democrats will change anytime soon. There's a really wonderful article by Disobedient Media. Elizabeth Voss, she's a great journalist, really fantastic. And there's this amazing cybersecurity analyst named Adam Carter. And this dude is phenomenal. And it's Adam Carter, Elizabeth Voss, Disobedient Media. There's a cyber analyst called the Forensicator. Mm-hmm. Then there's Bill Binney, who is a former NSA official, legend in the NSA. He helped begin a lot of the original programs.
Are these the VIPs people?
Yeah, Veteran Intelligence Professionals for Sanity.
Yes, sir.
All former intelligence officials. And I just think that, so they just came out with a breakthrough that Robert Mueller, Jeff Sessions have already been given evidence from the VIPs, Veteran Intelligence Professionals for Sanity, stating that the Russian hacking, excuse my language, is all bullshit. And there's no evidence at all. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Trump also now has the evidence because if Mueller has it, Trump has it. Mm. So now I just think that what's the Democratic Party going to do now? A woman lost her life at Charlottesville, and you saw all the people come out of the woodwork on Twitter. And they just suddenly got so much strength and courage to start attacking people like me or you or other people. After Russia, after Charlottesville, after losing to Trump, and that Heather Heyer should be alive. But where were the police? That's Terry McAuliffe right there. He is one of the reasons for all of this, the governor of Virginia. But my thing is, I don't see the Democratic Party changing. I don't see progressive, people don't care about single payer. They're lying. Nobody cares about single payer because the thing is, it's cool now. Before it wasn't cool. Before it was only true Bernie Sanders supporters. Now you have people online still using the phrase racist Bernie bros, or still like thinking that Bernie bros are racist somehow.
Right.
Then those same people co-opt Bernie's movement. And so it's just funny. You have people calling themselves socialists when they're not socialists. You have people calling themselves Bernie supporters when they supported Bernie like for like 2 weeks in the election.
Yeah, real quick.
Quick, and then voted for Madam Cyber Attack. So I just think that, I don't think anything. I think that Democrats are going to lose again in 2020. And in terms of, it might actually be a very good thing, because then the identity politics goes out the window. The lecturing goes out the window. Nobody can say anything to you or me. We've been warning them since 2015, and we'll still be warning them the whole 3 remaining years of the first term. Trump goes into his second term. The donors, Democratic Party donors, are going to say, nah, not going to give money. Not going to give money unless you can unite everybody within the Democratic Party. So, yeah, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, man. I know exactly what you mean. This is part of the conversation that we had at the conference, Brent. It was about, the Democratic Party not being a vehicle. See, that's the thing that really pisses me off, is that the whole purpose of the conference was to start a third party. So, like, Jill Stein was there, and of course she wants to, talk to people about joining the Green Party. Ashama, she was there to talk about people joining the Socialist Alternative Party. And there was the People's Independent Party. And I'm hearing people gripe about, like, the program. I'm like, dude, there were no Democrats there. None. Right? Like, all independents for the most part, and socialists and Green Party. That's what it was for, because we realized that the Democratic Party is not a viable vehicle for change in this country. And we're looking beyond it. So I agree with you 100%, H.A., that the Democratic Party does not show signs, as it stands, the party, not every single person in the party, but the party itself, what runs the party, the establishment within the party that wield the power. Those folks show no signs of changing their tune, of readjusting. Now, the only bright spot I see is the pushback that some Democrats are giving to Hillary Clinton's new book. Like, that to me was like, what? I can't believe it. Like, they're actually waking up enough to realize
it's true.
Albatross around your neck might need to go. Now, will they go a step further and say, okay, let's move to the left? To the left, y'all, to the left. Now, I don't know. It may just be self-preservation.
It's self-preservation. You know what it is, Tim? It's self-preservation. And what it is I'll tell you something, without Twitter, there's no Democratic Party. Twitter is like the place for the snarkiest, like, dumbasses who like their life is like, oh, how do I go ahead and make this snappy one-liner? Ooh, I got you. And it's these no-name people, but that's been going on since last year, 2 years ago, and it doesn't work. But actually, Twitter's getting more popular now, so the Democratic Party is relying more on, oh my God, did you see this story on Twitter? Did you see this retweet? And the message, the Democratic Party message, is not about policy. It's about what can we convey on Twitter regarding Trump, Russia, regarding how Trump is a white supremacist, how Trump is a white nationalist. Never, how do we convey that Clinton is a white supremacist? Let's get her out of the party. Never that. And, and then she goes ahead and uses the line, oh, Trump, his speech was a white nationalist speech. Her entire career was a white nationalist. I mean, if you want to use that euphemism, which I think is ridiculous, because there's never going to be a white nation. There's no white nation there's no territory within the U.S. that only white people are going to be in. It just doesn't exist.
They may want it to be though. Like, you know, there are people who
but I
definitely want that to happen. And
but there are always people. There are people who want another Holocaust for the Jewish people. There are people who want a lot of. There are people who probably are so insane they want a colony on Mars of only a certain. And you know what I mean? So it's like, why even, instead of focusing on the Voting Rights Act, fixing the Voting Rights Act, John Conyers has a bill. All of these things. What about breaking up banks? It's just this.
That's real stuff, man. Like,
yeah, real stuff.
You want us to focus on real stuff, man. These people do not want to focus on real stuff, and it's sad when I don't think average regular folks fall for it, and I don't think anyone falls for it. I think there are people who are paid to lie, and people who see advancement in lying, and not, you know, and or lying by omission, right? So I don't think they're really fooled. I think they just they want to fool others. But the average person who's detached from politics, they know that there's more scumbaggery going on than just some guys marching in Charlottesville or, you know, some skinheads or whatever. Like, they know that that's not the, you know, the end-all be-all to what we need to be worried about. That they understand banks. They understand the Wall Street bailout that occurred. How Obama bailed out the banks but didn't help regular people who were suckered by the banks, who were misused and had their pensions liquidated. Like the people who lost their homes, and people like Kamala Harris, who had an opportunity to prosecute some of these scoundrels and chose not to. But now what, 6 months later, well, a year later, she is now the champion for the left. Now she's a champion for change all of a sudden. But you wouldn't hold a man who definitely should have been at least tried, at least charged for that crime. And now that man sits in the White House. Now he sits in the White House.
And you know, also, I mean, look, the banks that went under in 08 and 09, those banks are bigger now. So Citigroup, Bank of America, they're all bigger.
I thought they were too big to fail. Now
they're really too big. Before they were too big to fail. Now they're like way too big to fail. So I just
horrible.
I'm coming out with. I'm not going to announce it yet, but you know it.
I
but
thought about it. I'm like, maybe I'll let him, you know, make sure he's ready to do that when it's done, so no one can bite it.
Yeah. I'm coming out with an announcement in a couple weeks.
I don't want nobody to bite your rhymes, bro.
He said, thank you. and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be great, and everybody, you know, they'll find out what I'm talking about, all the No Sellouts crew. But you know, it's going to be something that will expose even more light on all the corruption. And the sad thing is, you know, Tim, remember when we were growing up, and we are the same age, and you remember when we were growing up, and it was Republicans versus Democrats, and you had Reagan, and you had you know, Tip O'Neill. You had
worthy adversaries.
Yeah, you had people who disagreed on policies, disagreed on, like Ted Kennedy. You know, you had people who disagreed on policies, but their life wasn't about hurting the other. It was about winning. It was about politics. It was about, you know, definitely going at it. But up until recently, there's not this emphasis on, oh my God, he's so stupid. He's so racist. He's so this, he's so that. Oh, you know, I got you. This like phrase that I hear online all the time. Oh, he got dunked on. I dunked on this person. I can't wait to dunk on this person. I'm like, this is like literally the lives of people. They're like, I dunked on this guy. Oh, it's like, well, what are you doing to help anyone? You know, what are people doing? What are progressives, quote unquote progressives online?
It's the
doing?
nature.
Yeah, and so I'm not talking about the No Sellouts crew. I'm not talking about people who, you know, are awesome. I'm talking about people who their lives are devoted to trying to creates some kind of community, it's like sub world, like this alternate reality on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think like if you don't have the Peter Dows, you have the Joy Reids, which honestly like they're kind of the same people. Then you have Chris Hayes of MSNBC, and he was saying, "Yeah, I read the book. It's really good." Like he was really saying that he enjoyed the book,
right?
Hillary's book.
Yeah.
So
I want to comment on that Twitter thing. Twitter it brings out the cynic, right? Like there's a lot of cynicism and snarkiness on Twitter, just basic, right? Like that's the culture of Twitter. And I remember like a year ago, I was looking at ways to maximize using Twitter, and some of the advice I got was not to fall into that snarkiness, not to fall into that, sarcasm and just, taking swipes at people. But also there was a direction you could go, which was like to be more to have more compassion, actually. Have more compassion, have more of a, to be more human, to be more real, to be more sympathetic to other people. Like it's like on Twitter, it's all about one-upping someone and making someone look bad or look stupid or calling, you know what I mean? So it's like the culture of Twitter. You add that, plus you have bitter people. Some people are bitter. And then you also have people who are paid to do this. Like there are people who are trying to vie for positions and to win favorability with people and make friendships with Neera Tanden and her crew. So like there's a lot, like, it's already bad because it's like one line, you got 140 characters. How can I zing someone? Then you got people trying to show off to get a job. So yeah, man, it's really bad, man. What happened? What's the status of that jackass that was stalking you online?
Well, the jackass is blocked from Twitter for a little while, but then what he did was he started a new account with the same picture, the same dumb picture of like he's wearing a gas mask or like some dumb profile pic. So, but the funny thing is, he's like, "You'll never find me." There's ways to find out from the ISP and a lot of other ways to find out even anonymous Twitter profiles. But I mean, I'm not worried about that guy. That guy's harmless.
You'll never find me. What these people grow up in, man?
Let's put it this way: he's harmless because now the police know. So the police know where the police. Let's put it this way: the police report him threatening to know to be at my house, him lying about knowing my family, my wife.
Right.
He's like on Twitter saying, "It's not against the law to lie. It's not against the law to lie." It's like this, and he's like, "You'll never find me." I mean, this guy is, and then he says he's a writer that I retweeted 2 of his articles. So the police report that I have with LAPD, the officer said, "Get a restraining order. I just need the guy's identity." Mm-hmm. So, and so considering that like his life revolves around me, like almost all of his tweets are about me. And then he like gets a new Twitter profile once his profile is suspended just to follow what I do. I think the restraining order is necessary, but I mean, he's harmless in terms of the police now know that, I mean, he better not do anything bad, because if he doesn't have a record, or if he does something in the future to have a record, and it comes back that he actually had a police report filed regarding this and an attempt at a restraining order, that's even worse. But I mean, that's just, this guy is like a symptom. Like this guy basically threatens my life, threatens to be, at my house, be in the same shot as me, and it's like, for what? Oh, and by the way, he went after, I hear something in the background.
Yeah, it's my furnace, man.
He went after Li Fong of the Intercept.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't think that Li Fong is progressive enough.
Progressive enough for him.
But this guy is like, I mean, I'm hoping he's harmless, but whatever. I could take care of myself either way. But the thing is, like, it's unbelievable, because these are the types of people that think that they're going to beat Trump, and Trump destroys these types of people. Trump easily defeats this type of mentality, because Trump won with people hating him, calling him a racist, calling him a sexist, calling him everything from a rapist to everything. And he still won.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to, like, my whole thing is like, when does it end? When do people realize that you can't guilt trip somebody? You can't try to attack them online for Trump to win. You actually have to go ahead and attack the DNC, the Democratic Party, and Hillary Clinton.
No, man, you got to actually put forth policies that make people
excited
and have a bold, big vision. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That will drive people to get off their asses and go out and vote for you, and also send money, which, by the way, is not something the Democrats have been doing a good job at lately. So while they do all this other crap online and harass people, and they produce websites like Verit, that's not going to get it done, man. That's not going to move the needle on voters. That's not going to move the needle on fundraising. That's just it's just window dressing to try to win the media game, which they already, man. I'm not impressed with them at all. I'm not worried about them. And if they don't get their act together, it'll just be another L. Hopefully, we can get some local elections. I'll pivot and start focusing more on local candidates who help communities, and at that level. That way, it can be effective. Man, I wanted to also talk about James Comey, man, because I figured you knew something about, like, are they saying this guy lied? Like he lied in his testimony or something, man?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Comey is in deep trouble in many, many ways. He lied about a lot of things. He didn't interview 17 witnesses, number one.
Damn.
So, and including
hold
Clinton.
on. What's this excuse for not doing that?
Well, they interviewed them, but he exonerated Clinton. He wrote the letter before all the witnesses were interviewed. And so he already exonerated Clinton, but the thing with that is he said certain things like, well, it's true that they forwarded classified intelligence to Anthony Weiner, but we just don't get a sense that they meant to do it. Oh. So they didn't mean to press send. Is that what he's saying? Yeah, and in terms of, there's other things too. In terms of perjury, he lied about a lot of things.
Yeah, man, I printed out the article. I didn't grab it off the damn printer, but it was like in the Hill. They were talking about it. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Well, first off, he didn't go ahead and he knew that she was guilty. Then he stated, well, we didn't think there was intent when all there was intent. Right. And then and then Lindsey Graham called him a rat, which is hilarious.
That whole intention thing, it really makes me laugh, man. Every time I think about it, like, no one goes up to a weed, a guy with some weed that they're locking people up for having weed. No one says, did you intend to get caught with the weed, or did you intend to smoke the weed? Like, no one gives a shit. Like, you got weed, you go to jail. You know what I mean? Like, you got some meth on you, you go to jail. You don't pay your taxes. No one cares what your intentions were. It's just like, pay this fine or go to jail. Can't pay the fine, go to jail. Sometimes it's go to jail and pay the fine. No one cares if you intended to have the weed or not pay the taxes or whatever the hell it is. But Hillary gets this like special treatment, and like, it's so obvious, man. Like, it's the most obvious thing in the world, and these people who are saying like she was a better candidate, the Supreme candidate. Like, I don't know, man. Like Ted, what's his name? Peter Dow, man. I don't know what. Like, he blocked me a long time ago. I know he blocked you too, man.
Yeah.
The owner of now. Then he starts Verit. Like, what is he getting? Like, what is Hillary doing for this guy? Like, what is Hillary doing for all these people who are still caping?
I'll tell you what. All the people who were saying, "Oh my God, Verit." If Clinton was running again, they'd join Verit in a heartbeat. They're all a bunch of liars. And they're all they're all a bunch of liars.
Why you say that, HA? Why you say they would join, man?
Because I'm not talking about you or me. I'm talking about
they.
Yeah, I'm talking about like. Look,
I'd be more likely to join a skinhead white supremacist organization before I join Verret, man. At least then I could be like, I'm on investigative duty or something. Do some good. You're not going to convert the Hillbots. You're not going to convert them. You could go in. I'd rather have to go I'd rather go talk to people in the Klan and try to convert them and to wake them up than go try to talk to Hillbots. Because Hillbots, you can replace the bulb, but the light's not going to come on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. You got Joy Reid. Look, when Trump wins, and he'll win, Joy Reid will get fired from MSNBC, and Chris Hayes won't be there, and Rachel Maddow won't be there, and it'll be an edgier MSNBC. So things will be moving in the right direction. But up until then, you're going to have Joy Reid and Chris Hayes saying that what happened, the book was a great book. She was a fantastic author, great writer. Oh my God, she's a strong woman. Everyone is. And they're making fun. People are making fun of it now. But who made it cool to dislike the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton? You, me, a few other people.
Yeah.
When we were doing
very few. Yeah. A couple of those people were with me at the conference. You know what I mean? Like, because we know like Lee Camp and Jimmy Dore, they hate her too.
Jimmy and Lee Camp, yeah, for sure. My thing is, the same people who are now, there's a certain group, and it's like this group of followers, and it spans from the Joy Reids to the this weird kind of mix of people who they really did vote for Clinton, but they're saying that they don't like Clinton, and they think that Bernie bros are racist, but who knows who they don't like Clinton, but they don't like the Bernie bros. So who did they vote for? They didn't vote for Jill Stein, so they're just kind of like this cool kind of, they think they're hip crowd, but they hate Trump. They hate Trump with a passion. And my whole thing is, you can hate Trump all you like, but like a person's hate isn't going to affect the Electoral College. Right. So
I agree. It's not. And unless you give them an alternative, like the way we feel, like the thing is, people by and large don't like politicians much. So they have a suspicion of all politicians to begin with. That's one of the reasons why Trump won, is that he wasn't a politician. My Maryland governor has no political experience whatsoever. That's why he won. That's the main thing. And also that he was a business person who had some success in business. So they said, well, we need jobs, and we don't trust politicians, and it's not and so let's give me a guy or a woman, for that matter, who's not connected with the politicians, and somebody who can put some jobs. Like the formula is sitting right there for anybody who wants to use it. The political landscape is what it is.
I think, though, it's pretty lucrative to be a Democrat or a Republican. I think that you get hooked up, you get a lot. It's not just like, look at James Comey. James Comey literally covered up an investigation as the nation's highest, the FBI director. He literally covered up an investigation. He's okay. James Clapper literally lied under oath. Like, not just, with Comey, he said a lot of crazy things that we have to find out now. Like, wait a second, you wrote the letter, but then you wrote the Comey memos and then the letter, the Comey letter. There's all this stationery that he owns, Tim. It's like unbelievable. He's just writing left and right on different Post-it pads, every Comey Post-it. But the thing with Comey is that they're already turning on him. The House Republicans are already turning on him. Mm-hmm. Loretta Lynch is being investigated. Platte River, the company that managed Clinton's server, is under investigation. All of this is coming down. And what people don't understand is it's not about hating Trump. It's about making sure the Democratic Party is completely dismantled. Because Trump, I have a lot of conservatives who watch my channel. I'm very happy about that. And I get to learn more about them and they learn more about me. And it's actually a really good thing, you know. It's a great thing. And I'm very happy they watch my channel. But what I learned is that they love Trump. They love Trump, and they don't think like.
What do they love about him?
They love that he's screwing over the deep state, that he's screwing over the Democrats, that he is, you know, they like a wall. They want a wall. You know, it's not like progressives, Tim. Progressives are like, yeah, single payer, I don't know. You know, $15 minimum wage. No, we can't have that. Oh, $12. Clinton said 12. Oh, no. Neocons, a regime change in Syria, drone, you know, hurting whistleblowers, everything. So we progressives don't really have a value system, because then you have the Joy Reids saying, you know, no, bad person.
Liberals don't have a value system.
Liberals, but I mean, you're right. But they like conservative policies. That's another thing that drives me crazy. When people are like, did you see what Trump is doing? He wants an immigrant ban and a wall. And I'm like, that's because he's conservative. He's a Republican. That is what they want. And the country is not all Democrats or liberals or progressives. Mm-hmm. We saw that, at least in terms of the Electoral College, there's enough people who are going to be like, yeah, I'm cool with a wall, or I don't care about a wall. I'm cool with an immigrant ban. I don't care about an immigrant ban. You have to defeat that through policy or through communicating an alternative.
Right.
But
that's
simply
a good
saying,
point.
yeah, simply saying that, thank you. Simply saying that, oh my God, white nationalist supremacist, you know, every other euphemism you can throw at somebody, you know, this is, don't you know? And it's like everything, like these people, their lives revolve around endless euphemisms that, like, who in their right mind, in their sick right mind would justify rape? Who I would like, I'm not a violent person. I'm not a violent person,
right.
But I would not have a problem just popping somebody if I saw them raping somebody. No, not even a problem. I wouldn't even think twice. If I saw, God forbid, that happen, and I was there and I had the gun, I wouldn't even think twice. Who would justify rape? But my point, though, is if you're not a rape apologist, you're a white nationalist. If you're not a white nationalist, you're a white supremacist. If you're not a white supremacist, then you are.
So on point, man. While I was at the conference, bro, Jordan invited me over to be on the live stream, the TYT live stream, so I joined in. And I brought up, because he was talking about we need to look beyond like party affiliation. If someone has a good suggestion or something, we should take it under advisement. We should not be clouded by parties or clouded by ideologies, right? So I brought up, I said, I agree with him too. And I said, hey, I did a video on Betsy DeVos. And I did the video about her rescinding or wanting to rescind and modify the letter to the colleagues from Obama back in, I think it was 2012, was part of the Title IX, the modification of Title IX. So it has to do with how colleges treat sexual harassment. It's supposed to be for gender equality. And it was supposed to combat all of this sexual harassment that some people are facing and things of that nature. So Betsy DeVos's point, at first I didn't want to consider it because I'm not a Betsy DeVos fan. I think charter schools, I think money diverted to charter schools should be diverted to public schools, right? Because everybody can't get a pass to go to a charter school. We need to make sure our public schools are better, man. And also the fact that I feel that she brought her position in the Trump cabinet. I feel like, she gave millions and millions and millions of dollars to GOP, and she's rewarded with a position as education secretary. She doesn't have any experience as an educator. Her children have never went to public schools, and now she's presiding over the country's education. So I don't agree with that. So that clouded my judgment. That made me not even really consider her points. But see, here's the thing. I didn't put the video out because I said, that's not right. Right, I got to look at the points she's trying to make. So I took the time to do some research, and I realized that, we want to protect the victims of sexual assaults. We want to protect the victims of rape. Of course, we have to do that. That's mandatory. But we also need to make sure that when you're protecting those people, that you're not hurting needlessly people who are falsely accused. And that's a vital thing. And as a father of both a grown woman and a grown son, that's important to me because I love both my son and my daughter, right? So I made this statement on TYT that, yeah, we should look at that. And I gave a couple real life examples of people on college campuses who were accused of stuff that they didn't do, and then their lives are like drastically changed. And so this woman wrote me a letter, and she basically called me a rape apologist. Like, everything I said, everything I just laid out to you, like, the fact that never did I say we shouldn't prosecute people who rape. Never did I say we shouldn't prosecute people who put their hands on people or make people uncomfortable. But I said we need to take a look at Obama's amendment and make sure it works. Let's look at the data. We have 4 years now. We can examine the data and see if it actually is doing what it needs to do. Maybe it needs to be modified. Maybe we need to improve it. But these ideas to her are an assault on women.
Yeah.
Suggesting that it's possible that Obama didn't write the best letter ever written known to man. Like, just suggesting that we should take a look. Just suggesting that both men and women are being hurt in other ways by this modification. And let's tinker at it and take a look at it. And it's just a thing where these people want to slap you with labels, AJ. They don't want to look at your point of view. They want to throw you under the bus. They want to take the worst case scenario, like you stated, like, oh, this guy approves of rape. Just because I said let's look at it. So I understand exactly where you're coming from. As a father, as a person who's married to a woman, as a person who loves his mom, I love women. It's not the point. The point is I love guys too. I love my son. I love my dad. I love my brothers too. And we all deserve the best. And we should work towards best. There's no perfect legislation. There's no perfect modification. There's no perfect Obama, all right? And there's no, so why can't we work to make shit better? And stop throwing the DACA thing at me as if Obama did that out the kindness of his heart. He only did DACA because he had been so busy deporting their mothers and their fathers and their cousins, he figured he'd make himself look a little bit better by letting these children or these young people stay in the country. It was just a Jedi mind trick, in my opinion.
Exactly. And also, nobody has the right to insult a person of your stature, caliber, the type of human being you are, and anybody who does that.
No, AJ, everybody's got a right to insult you, but they got a right. They feel the fucking pain when you come back at them, though. You know what I mean? Like, you could come at me, but when I come back for you, yeah, be prepared for it, because I'm not gonna take it laying down. I ain't no snowflake. You come at me calling me a rape apologist just because I want to protect everyone's rights, and I feel that there's no such thing as perfection, and we can take a look at something. Well, you know what? If you're gonna make that accusation, I'm gonna hit you. And she's lucky. I'm not even saying her name, because I was pissed at first because I was insulted. I was like, oh, you think you can write this bullshit? Oh, I'm going to get you now. But no, I'm not. I'm just going to bring it up. But I didn't mean to cut you off. My
thing is, nobody condones rape. Nobody condones Nazi ideology. Nobody condones racism. But what has taken place on the left in this country, which is why the right wins elections, which is why on YouTube there aren't enough progressive voices. There's dominated by more conservative voices, is because everything's a euphemism on the left now. Nazi, white supremacist, white nationalist, rape apologist, racist. Everything is this euphemism that if they don't like something, they're going to put you in a box, a label, categorize you, and it's not even, there's no room to move. Even if I've seen, because I remember after Charlottesville, all the triggered identity politics fools were all over the place. They mustered up all that courage, and people who never attacked me prior started attacking me. And what I realized is that a couple of times there were these long threads that went on forever. Okay. And I realized that you have these identity politics people. And that's what I mean when I say like SJW or social justice warrior. I don't mean people who actually care about these issues. I mean like the Twitter trolls. But these threads went on forever. And it was always like 8, 10, 20 people either against me or against 1 or 2 other or 3 other people who were defending me or whatever. Mm-hmm. Even the ones that I wasn't a part of, I was just reading. And it was snark fest. It was snarky. Oh my God, this guy, you're so bad at Twitter and da-da-da. It's like, oh my God, you're not helping rape victims. You're not helping victims of racism. You're not helping defeat Trump. You're not helping anything. Every time someone is called a Nazi by a progressive, they vote for Trump. And I'm talking about there are progressives who will be like, fuck you, I'm not a Nazi. I'm voting for Trump. I hope the Democrats lose. Mm-hmm. And these are people, even independents, like you can't go around after you bullied people for a year and lost to continue bullying people and expect to win, then complain about the policies that a Republican president implements. He's a Republican president. Why don't you? Democrats have to defeat him. And if they can't defeat him, they can't lecture us as to, oh, well, it's a 2-party system and, Jill Stein and everything else. You can't start a third party because that'll just help the Republicans. They're going to lose anyway. So that's why, yeah.
Yeah, man, dude, I understand and I feel your pain. And we've had conversations about this and you know how I feel about it. And I support you in deciding on how you want to deal with that because it is horrific. What people need to understand is other people are weaponizing against people who have done nothing but disagree with them on something and being labeled all of these horrible things. So, and they're also doing this intentionally. It's not like they don't understand. Like the woman who wrote me that letter, I have a feeling she's been a victim of an assault. So she's reacting emotionally to an idea of and just basically deciding what my mind thinks. Like deciding, that she knows, she figured me out. Like, okay, this person is against me and against something that has hurt me, so therefore he's this worst common denominator known to man. And what people need to know is that when they do things like that, they are actually becoming the thing they dislike. They're becoming the thing they hate. And I want people to take a look at it. When people use race, gender orientation, when they, rape apologists, white nationalist apologists, whatever the hell, when you do that without any evidence, you're becoming just as vile, disgusting, horrible scumbag, worse than a scumbag. You become a victimizer. You become part of a cancerous a stream that is engulfing. You become the mist that's coming over the mountains that has poison and bacteria and garbage and this killer. You become part of the thing that we need to eradicate the world from. When you lump people in, when you use these terms without any basis for them other than you being pissed off or wanting to look good or wanting to grow your followers or wanting to get clicks or wanting to expand your fan base, like that's a horrible thing. And to my black folks out there, I would say it's sort of like what they're doing to Colin Kaepernick. Okay, so with Colin Kaepernick, we know he took a knee to shed light on police brutality. But what did these people do? These people made it about the veterans. They made it about the veterans. That's the same, and that's a horrible thing. How pissed off were you? These people, these people I'm speaking to, and there's a lot of white folks who support Colin Kaepernick, a lot of Latinos, a lot of Native Americans, a lot of Asians. But what I'm saying is, that's the same method that is used over and over and over again on so many levels. So H.A. Goodman saying, hey, I like Caitlin's article and I respect Caitlin, has been morphed into, away from the article, to he's a skinhead apologist or he's a Nazi apologist. Tim Black saying, hey, on college campuses where my son is a student on a college campus, hey, you need to take a look at this because good kids are being hurt. And we want to catch the bad people, but we got to be careful how we handle it. What's the process? Because we're hurting other people that are unintended. That's being turned, not even looking at what I'm saying, not examining what I'm discussing, and saying, well, Tim's a rape apologist. And it's the same thing. They're not even looking at the issue why Colin took the knee. They're not looking at why H.A. Goodman said, hey, this article has validity. At least we can discuss it and we don't need to demonize her. And we're not even looking at my issue with the college campus saying, hey, you know what? We can do better. At least let's look into doing a better job. And maybe when we look at it from another perspective, people can kind of get it. Because that's what it is. It's gaslighting. It is horrible. And it's strawmanning the hell out of people, trying to make them defend arguments they never even made. Like, H.A. would never sit up here and make an argument why we should embrace skinheads. Like, he would never do that.
And that's the thing. Because they disagree with something, and because they disagree with something, they don't have. I've had 3 debates. One with Alex Rubenstein, one with Ben Dixon, and one with some writer at Progressive Army named X Class. Okay, a white dude who called me a white supremacist. But anyway, and then he realized that I'm not, and I debated him. All 3 of the debates, I've been told that I won all 3 because when forced to admit that, yeah, the person I called a white supremacist is not. The person I called a Nazi sympathizer really is not. All it is that, and you defended Caitlyn big time at the conference.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. But my thing is, they don't have the ability to argue outside Twitter. And if they actually had discourse and a debate, they end up looking pretty stupid because they can't defend their cult mentality. So it's all a cult. They're part of a cult. They don't like Clinton, but they don't really like Bernie. Who knows what they like, but they just don't like.
They'll go along with whatever the establishment picks.
Yeah, they eventually go along with the establishment. They hate Trump, but they don't like rape apologists, but they'll vote for Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, no problem at all. I don't see.
But Trump's horrible because he said if you're him, if you're rich and famous, you can just grab him.
Yeah.
Like that makes it like he's a horrible but like what about Bill Clinton? We know what he did.
We know, and 4 women,
that was
and
basically
he actually
a child. I mean, you considering who he was at the time. Come on, guys. Anyway.
But Tim, man, I want to tell you, you are the man.
Hey, look, dude, next time we need to talk about Steve Bannon, dude. I've been out of the loop the last couple of days. I'm getting caught up, but I saw he went on 60 Minutes. We got to circle back at some point and talk about Steve Bannon's appearance because I think it's important.
Well,
Not
absolutely.
Now, you know what I'm saying? But he dropped a lot of bombshells is all I'm saying. And I've been out of the loop since
I have a little theory about that too. I think he did it on purpose to kind of fuck people up, but
interesting, man. Hey, look, guys, go to the H.A. Goodman channel. Look, man, we gave some extra no sellouts tonight. I like this, man. Yeah, brother.
Can I tell you, Tim? I have a really, really cool, interesting guy. His name is Defengo, and I'm going to be interviewing him in 20 minutes.
Get out of here, man. Go do your Defengo thing, man.
All right, man. Tim. Yeah. I love you, man.
I love you too, brother. Thank you for the extra time. Guys, go to H.A. Goodman's channel on YouTube. Follow him on Twitter. Don't stalk him. Be
love
cool.
You.
Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I love you, man. And,
love you, man.
And thank you so much for bearing with us, man. I'm going to get that Periscope thing worked out. I want to put us back on all those platforms. My Facebook people, if you're out there, I got mad love for you. My people on YouTube, thank you for all you do. All my Patreons, I love you so much. To my top Patreons, all 5 of you, I got a special gift I'm going to be sending your way. And I just want to thank you once again. I have emailed you, Patreon people, to get your addresses. So please respond to the message on Patreon. And, yo, everybody, I just want to tell you guys, a little overtime for me, brother Tim Black. I had a great time at the Convergence. I know a lot more about socialism, and that's great. I'm here to learn just like anyone else, right? I want to expand my level of knowledge. It was a great conversation with Kashana Sawant. It was great spending time with other indie media people and getting rejuvenated and feeling more invigorated to go out here and kick some ass. I met great people like Eleanor, who has a fantastic channel. I want to give her a shout out. Had an opportunity to discuss Caitlin Johnstone with a room full of people. I made up and apologized and shook hands with Jamal Thomas. Give it up for Jamal Thomas. I'm sure a lot of you who have been wanting that to happen. Well, you know what? It was going to happen eventually because Jamal Thomas and I both get out and go to events. And he lives in Virginia and I live in Maryland. And this is like the third event that we've been out together at. And this is the first time we've been out at an event since since the departing of ways, so to speak. But he was there at the convention, at the conference, and he was going to be speaking as part of a platform, of a workshop. So it's great to see Jamal doing his thing, which I always knew he was totally capable of doing. That's why I invited him on my channel to begin with, because of his skill and his fantastic brain. What else? Also, once again, I did a thing with Jordan, hung out with Jordan a little bit because we're sitting next to each other in a number of these panels and we talk. So all the beef with Jordan, once again, guys, that's done with. We got bigger fish to fry. You feel me? We got bigger fish to fry. I got my skillet. I got my oil. The stove is already heated up, and I'm ready to do the thing, okay? I want to thank you all for what you do. Shout out to Dr. Cornell West and all the great people, Dr. Jill Stein as well, who I saw again for like the 8th time since I've seen Jill. But as you can tell, I'm very happy and excited about what's about to happen. It's about to go down. We're about to really get our hands dirty fighting the machine. And we do it. Why? We don't do it for ourselves. We do it because it's the right thing to do. You don't get into this for money. You don't get into this for fame. You get into this because you see that there are things wrong with this country that you want to be a part of the solution. It's one thing to sit on the sidelines and throw eggs. It's another thing to get in and actually get involved. I wanted to start the show this way, but all the confusion in the beginning stopped me. I also wanted to say my thoughts and wishes are with the people of Florida and now Georgia. Momo Pineno, I just spoke to him just before the show. He said the storm is coming their way now. So I want you, hopefully, Momo is safe and dry and all that good stuff. But we got real stuff going on, guys. And just keep going. Keep going with me. We're on a journey. We don't know where it's going to end. All right? We don't know, you know what I'm saying? We're all on this journey to fight for what we believe in. We don't know where it's going to end. We just got to stay positive. I will see you tomorrow, all right? Right back here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, I'm going to put out as much footage as possible because I got some great content that I think you're going to be interested in. All right. That's it. I missed you guys. I'm glad to be back, and I'll see you soon. But until we meet again, remember, don't you let nobody take your cornbread. I don't care who they are. All right? This movement is not contingent on Bernie Sanders. It never was. It never was. Rumors of my demise and rumors of the political revolution's demise have been grossly exaggerated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.